This particular conversation with this gentleman. Welcome to KTN.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So if we were to describe the budget 2026-2027 and the information that we have, we're looking at 4.8 trillion shillings. James, let me get your perspective on this. What do you think about it?
Yeah, thank you. This year's budget is estimated to be 4.8 trillion. Again, is what we had last year, about 4.2. So obviously a very high increment when you look at it from that perspective. Of course, the expectation is that that is why we see the budget deficit growing up, because we are not able to get the revenue that we can be able to collect to that tune. We are expecting to do about 3.6 trillion as revenue collection from Kenya, having about 2.9 trillion being collected by the Revenue Authority, and the difference being the appropriation in aid and as well as what we would expect from grants. So my perspective is that the deficit having increased, would expect a bit of some struggle, a very high increase in terms of expenditure, but obviously is driven by the element of high recurrent element as well as the deferment. We would expect that perhaps even next year we would have to increase the number. I think this appetite of increasing the budget every year for me is not the right way, but it is what we have, and it is what we have perhaps to deal with at the moment. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Kimani. Now let me bring in Wainaina. When you look at the budget deficit and the way Kimani has given us his perspective, saying, you see, 1.2 trillion, it's keeping on, we are just increasing year on year. So from your perspective, economic outlook, when you look at how the Kenyan economy is at the moment, what does this mean for an ordinary Kenyan?
Okay, thank you. The simplest interpretation of a deficit is that we are good at living beyond our means. And when you look at the rate at which our national debt is growing, and the concern that Kenyans have that a disproportionate share of our tax revenues are going into servicing domestic and foreign debts, meaning that we are sparing lesser resources for development and the important social services sector like education and health. Then it's a cause for worry, because when you are in a hole, the best thing to do is to stop digging. It appears as if we are a spoiled child. We don't learn. We continue to dig deeper into the debt hole, meaning that going forward in the medium term is going to be very difficult for this country to develop. Because if you are not sparing sufficient resources to build your capacity to grow the GDP, that is the economic wealth, the livelihoods for citizens, then going forward, it affects your ability to broaden the tax base.
Okay.
So it becomes a vicious circle. So it's a cause for concern.
All right.
Yeah.
And let me throw in this question and look at what is the government really trying to achieve? Is it survival, austerity, or growth with this kind of budget? Because when you look at last year, we were at 4.3 trillion. This year, we are at 4.8 trillion. So you can see it's increasing at a very fast pace. Next year, we might even reach the 5 trillion going forward. So Kimani, what is the government really trying to achieve?
Let me say that maybe the challenge that the government tend to have is thinking that we must be seen to grow. Yeah, we must be seen to be doing additional things than we did last year. And just my colleague have said is to try and show that there is some growth in it, but that growth comes with some exposures in the element that we are not able to raise enough money to be able to fund what we are actually estimating to spend. And therefore, for me, is the government just trying to show that we are actually growing, the economy is growing, but when you look at from a micro perspective, the economy is not growing. From a macro perspective, few things seems to be done, but that is not trickling down to the common, Kenyans, and therefore that's why Kenyans continue to feel the pain. As much as the economy and the budget seem to be growing, that is not commensurate to what the Kenyans are actually feeling. So my view is that they are not looking at what is the macroeconomic impact to the Kenyans, but looking at from a macro perspective. We just want to show that the economy is growing. We are able to do additional things than we did last year, but we are not looking at where are we getting the money to be able to spend this. And that's why the budget deficit will continue to grow.
Okay.
So my view and simple answer to that is that we just want to show that actually the economy is growing, but when you look at it from a macro and micro perspective, it is not.
Okay. Wainaina,
Yes.
is the economy growing?
Modestly so. The economic survey that was released in May, it did indicate the sectors that are growing.
Yes.
It was a growth of 4.7 to 5.2. And you see, I'm an accountant, and budget making is a political process, and we are 14 months to the elections. This budget, we can say, is almost the last budget before the election. Of course,
yes,
next year we will still present, the government will still present a budget because the elections are in August. So this is an electioneering budget. It has so many items, the wish list, all these promises that the president has been making during his travel across the country. Some of them have been provided for. For example, if the president has promised a road that the actual cost is 3 billion, what you'll find in this year's budget is very little amount for the launch. 100 million. And that's why you see there are so many breaks all over the country where the president has gone to launch things to make people happy, win political support. But those projects, they end up taking about 10 years to be completed. Like the Buge Tower that is in front of us, it took about 10 years to be completed. So every year you are providing very a proportion to grow that thing. So the economy is growing. That's the truth of the matter. But it is not inclusive growth.
Okay.
And that's why many Kenyans are complaining, oh, we don't need statistics. The economy is growing at 5.2. But how come people are not feeling it in their pockets?
Okay.
The sectors that are really growing is the financial services sector, the banking sector,